Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to try and tackle some new hero predictions for Fire Emblem Heroes' next new hero banner, that being on the 6th of November, which is just a couple days from now. And if this video sees the light of day, then that means that I got it up before the trailer release for this particular banner. A couple things to note. Number one, I don't have the Game Center image that I would normally kind of guess off of, but really all it does is give like a slight hair color tinge. So I don't know if that's really going to affect the prediction-y bit of this regardless. Which, shout out to, hold on, Tover087 and Askid Project on Twitter. They did respond to me with a bit of intel on where I could find those, because I was hoping to find them somewhere consistently, but you know, checking Game Center works. I was just hoping that I would have access to it sooner, or if it was getting data mined or something like that, but evidently it's not. It pops in with an update for FEH in the Apple App Store, their Game Center thing. Either way, boring, doesn't matter to you. But thank you to those two for giving me that information and pretty much confirming what I needed to know, which is that I have to go off of the normal stuff. But we will persevere. Either way, so the reason why it doesn't really impact us too much this time around is I think more than likely what we're going to be seeing is a new Heroes banner focused around Choose Your Legends rejects, or similar to the Brave Redux, or I think it was Wayward Heroes, something like Unlikely Heroes, something like that was the first year with Mia and Dorcas and them. I think more than likely that's what it's going to be. I honestly thought we were going to see it in October, but that is not the case. And there's another possibility that it could be, which I will save for just a bit. But in the meantime, that's pretty much what I'm focusing on for now. And I do have some stuff prepared, because previously I have gone to great lengths to try and put together a chart that would adequately predict this. So this is actually from a previous video that I did. And as you can see, we have filled in a lot of contenders that were not previously in the... So this isn't even counting units like Naga or Har or other units that showed up in the top 100 Choose Your Legends results this year that ended up actually being in the game regardless. And it's kind of mind-blowing, right? Because we've seen so many. So we have Renea in the game now, we have Bruno in the game now, we ended up getting Louise, Thracier is now in the game, Ileana just got in. There's a lot of these units, these characters that are now in the game. Python too is also in the game now. That was recent. There's a lot of these guys who have made it into the game, and they've been like introduced slowly ever since the poll results came out. Now I think a general rule of thumb I follow is, if there seems to be a pattern, if it doesn't count for 6 months out, then it probably isn't real. And that is because you might think that they just whip up these units and get the art and the voices and everything together like a couple weeks before the banner debuts, right? They just kind of throw it together. They don't. There's a lot of planning that does go into it. So I like to think that, like, okay, 6 months out, they're probably thinking like, we should focus on these units for this banner. So pretty much ever since the Choose Your Legends 3 results came out this year, I feel like anywhere from July on would have been fair game. And that's when we did see a lot of these units kind of take up spot. Conrad is another one, which he was a top male contender. He was like, aside from Leaf and Bruno, he was like the top male contender for this whole undertaking, and now he's out of the running. So I don't know anymore. If we don't have it, I assume that it's going to be a Book 3 related banner, and it'll focus on some other units that we haven't seen yet, maybe. Although I'm honestly not really sure what those would be. Maybe Mom and Dad Asker, like they could show up. I don't know. It's definitely not Leaf. Like, Leaf is definitely not going to be in the Choose Your Legends Reject banner, right? We already know Thraseer, she was the last Mythic Hero that we got. Leaf more than likely is going to be this month's Mythic Hero, but I'll dive into that more in a later video for sure. There's Bruno that we technically already have as a spring alt. Anna is never getting the games, and at least, well, okay, I take that back. Anna alt might exist in the game, right? But I personally don't want to get my hopes up, so I'm just going to pretend like they aren't. And if they do, happy surprise. I don't care if I'm wrong on the prediction. I will take that to the bank all day, every day. You know, Renea, she's also in there. So there's a lot of options, which, by the way, Severa is not featured in this, and I know that, and she is there. She's actually number 58. So she's right there between Renea and Rinka, in case you were wondering. So all that said, these numbers are vastly different compared to what we've seen in previous years of the new heroes. Over on the right side of the screen, so year 1 is there with Dorcas and Lute and them. And then you've got Loki and everybody else on the right. That was year 2. Those are very top numbers, right? And the only reason why I'm slightly reluctant is all of our top numbers here kind of already exist in the game. Unless you want to stretch it to like Jill at 52. Which is still pretty much out of the range that we've seen from previous years. I don't know, man. Maybe we'll get base Bruno. It could happen. It could be a thing. But with that said, with no hair color or anything to go off of, here's what I'm kind of predicting. I hope that will be our next go-abouts. So, first up, Jill. Jill is a pretty obvious choice. She ranked 52nd. She is the first unit that exists that isn't already in the game, but was top ranking. So without any other alt, without any other character, she is pretty much the top ranking unit that could potentially be a Choose Your Legends Brave Redux. So she is top of the list. And a personal favorite, I would like to see her in the game because I'm a huge Tellius fan. And even though I have no right to complain about that because Tellius has had like a huge year. 2019 was Tellius' year, man. I'm here to tell you. Second up, Severa. Severa actually placed 58th. We have seen what happens with Owain. Like, he and his counterpart showed up in the game. I don't want to like ruin anything. I don't want to ruin anything. But Severa is not in the game yet. Technically not. And like I said, we've seen a similar situation like this that happened last year when Owain got in. And again, a favorite character of mine, Cordelia daughter. What's not to love, right? But she would technically rank in second next to Jill in 58th. So I'm sorry, Rinka, but you just missed out. And we could actually just have another Fates banner. Last year we had the Adrift banner, I believe. So Rinka might make it in. All you Rinka fans out there, she might make it in. But those are technically the top 2 ranking females that don't have any kind of representation, technically, in the game yet. And with that said, we move on to the males, which now that Conrad is gone, I present to you our top ranking male, Nils. Why does it look like he's checking out Severa? Okay. We're going to go with it anyway. Just ignore that. Anyway, Nils. He is I think technically a singer, right? He's kind of got like a flute. Maybe he's a dancer? I don't really know what he is. He's a flute player. He's a musician? I'm not sure what those do. Dancer, probably. Probably a dancer. So he would be a dancer, and he, again, is the top ranking male that we have at the moment. Again, this Valentian banner kind of wiped us out on male reps. Which means, not to go all Tellius on y'all again, but if you recall the prior rankings that we had, the 4th unit, or the last ranking in most popularity, like Joshua there, they went on to become the free units. So with that said, our technically free unit would likely be Shinon. He was 86th, which is one step right behind Nils. He was 85. I think I said that already. So that's kind of who we'd be looking at for this Choose Your Legends possibility banner. Like I said, we might just get some kind of split up that happens with Book 3. That's a very strong possibility. We might just get another Fates banner. I don't really know. But if we're going to have a Brave Redux 3.0, this is the last chance for it. The first year it was in November. The second year it was in October. So now I guess is really the only chance that we have at it. And if it doesn't show up here, it's likely not showing up again at the end of the month because, again, that is definitely going to be kind of a Book 3 wrap-up like we had last year. I think it was Yolger and Surtur. That was a 2-person banner towards the end of the month. And we got units like Levitane and Helbindi and all of that. So that's kind of where November has been focused. But given that Book 3 doesn't have as many characters left to introduce into the mainstay game, it is possible that we get it now. And maybe they were kind of embracing the Jugdral anniversary last month and kind of focusing on them for that. I'm not sure, but this is who I would pin down as the most likely candidates for the next banner. Again, not really having anything else to go off, just kind of like looking at historical data from the game so far. So that's it. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully, I'm not too far off askew here, and I don't lose too much credibility. But that's okay. We do our best. In the comments, let me know who you guys think we're going to be seeing on this next banner. Again, hopefully this video does go live and I don't get shown up by a trailer tonight. But that's it for now. Subscribe if you like Heroes content. We do a lot of it over here. Just did a Dragalia Lost video, and the day before that we did a Fire Emblem Heroes Summon stream. So lots of stuff always going on. There is a lot of stuff coming up in December, so definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss that, because we're doing kind of like giveaway things and charity stream and stuff like that. So all that's coming up. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.